Oh, hello everyone. So, yeah, I was gonna try to hammer out some of the basic gameplay mechanics of this game before I go to bed. Yeah, so this is for the MiniLD 74 co-op jam, so I'm not working with anyone, but I was planning to have a game about two guys similar to Ikari warriors working together and maybe solving puzzles. So I'm planning on making it dependent on the gamepad, so you have to use one stick for each character. So I might try to incorporate keyboard controls as well, but it'll be intended to be played with the gamepad. So yeah, I was going to use the buttons, the bumper buttons at the top to shoot. Like the right one will be for one character to shoot and left one will be for the other character to shoot. And I still haven't decided about the trigger buttons, if those will be bombs or specials. Or I guess I could use the buttons too, like the left two buttons for one guy and the right two for the other guy. But you already have your fingers on the thumbsticks, so you really don't want to have to be moving your fingers off the thumbsticks that much. So I'm going to see how this goes. I already created the Bitbucket archive and the repository, which was a good thing that I'm doing this warm-up because they recently changed the login for Bitbucket. Now it goes through this Atlassian site, which messes up my password manager. So I got all that straightened out, and I got it cloned to the local system. So I'm going to call this Dual Eagles. I guess it'd be like two Patriot Marine guys. I was going to call it Twin Eagles, but I think that's already the name of a movie or a song or something like that. So I looked up Dual Eagles, and there might be a coin called the Dual Eagle or something, but there wasn't as many results for Dual Eagles as there was Twin Eagles. So I was thinking they could have cool eagle tattoos or something like that. But I'm not going to make the graphics too complex. And in this first game dev session, which may be the first of two or three. I think the MiniLD ends sometime this week before the Ludum Dare 39. Ends July 24th. Oh, so it ends tomorrow. So I got 2 days to work on this. But so I plan to only have one or two game dev sessions on this. So I created new. And this is Dual Eagles. There's my Dual Eagles select. Now see if this complains. So this is going to be a 3D game. Oh, here's the problem. It creates a new folder for you in here, which is a pain. So you got to cut. Go ahead and close Unity. I wish it would just create it in here and not make another folder. It's so annoying. So layout, yeah, I don't think I'm going to load in Playmaker for this, since this is going to be a very short project. File, save. Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've done any Unity. So 2 games ago I did, well, I polished up my, not really polished, but I added to the Sky Combat game, and I did that in the Godot engine, Godot, however you pronounce it. And then I did a Game Maker game last weekend. So this is the first time I've done Unity in maybe a month, which feels kind of strange. So you got to do this little dance whenever you create a new project, just because Unity doesn't like it when you clone a repository and you got that HG folder or HG file in there. It's so dumb. I don't know about that new splash screen for Unity. What is that, a flower or a icicle or something? I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, I just want this. So the trick of this game is going to be figuring out how to go back and do the dual stick control, which I've done before for my Space to Destroy game. So I know I've done it before, and I can probably look at that code again if I have to. I'd rather not have to do that again. But if it takes more than, I don't know, 15 minutes trying to figure it out, I'll go look at that old code. So go ahead and give me a plane. I'm going to make this kind of like my other games. I'll end up probably replacing the plane. Just leave it here for now. So yeah, this is going to be, I don't know if this is going to, I could have like different stages, a jungle stage and a desert stage and a stage out at sea or something. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this in Blender. File, new, what is this going to be? 2048 by 2048. I'm starting to like 2048 by 2048 better. It seems like 1024 by 1024 is just too low quality to do anything. So yeah, I found out it's always better to start with a thing in Blender and not have to rely on the default objects in Unity. If everything's in Blender, then everything works okay with each other. It's when you start pulling things in after you've already created things, you run into trouble. I want to see, one thing I want to try to do with this game is get it where I have a gun, kind of like in my last Game Maker game, but do it for Unity where the gun tracks with the hand. Something I never did get working in my Expand Array game, but I want to try it in this one. I sort of wish that Blender had a capsule. Closest you can get is a cylinder. So I'll do a cylinder. Oh, this is for the player. Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. Delete. Delete. I want to do a plane first. Scale X. So it's 2. Do 20. Do it like my World Fighter game, 20 by 10. Scale Z 5. Oops. Scale Y 5. Wow, that looks odd. Okay, that looks good. So we've got a 20 by 10 plane. I'm going to go ahead and turn off. Texture. Yeah, go ahead and make it textured. Go ahead and go into texture mapping or UV editing. Go 7, 5. No, doesn't want 5. Ortho. Yeah, I want ortho. Object. I gotta be in edit mode. Mesh. UV unwrap. Project from U bounds. Mesh. UV and project from view. So that keeps it the same proportions. Scale this out a little bit. So this is going to be a pretty simple texture map right here. UV, export UV layout. Go back, find my projects, my dual eagles. Go into the assets. I think I'm going to put this in models. I like keeping all my models in the same folder. All the layouts and everything. So this is going to be, what am I going to call this? Block or ground? Layout, ground, PNG. Yeah, this is going to be 2048 by 2048. Export. Go back to GIMP. File, open, projects. Oops. Dual eagles, assets, models, layout. Just want to add a new layer. Okay. Pull this down. So I'm going to grab like an orange color like this. Edit. fill, tool, no filters, noise, HSV, saturation noise. It looks good. Maybe some value noise too. Okay. Looks good. Looks kind of gritty and everything. Go ahead and add me a new layer. Add me a new layer. I don't know what a good way to make grass is. Maybe do like a... I don't know. I don't know what tool I want to use. So we're going to have this like all grassy over here. Go ahead and add... Oops, no. Crap. Going to add over here. The only problem is this... It isn't going to wrap right. Edit, fill with foreground, filters, noise, HSV. Looks good. It looks kind of grassy. Oh man. Wish there was like a select invert. Like you can do it in 2 different commands. Filters, blur. I think there's like a wind blur or something. Oh, motion blur. That looks good. Wow, you really can't notice that. I don't know if I should have some like rocks or something like that. But yeah, this is going to jut outward. This really needs to be made seamless. I'm not going to worry about it right now. File, save as, texture ground, file, export, texture ground PNG, export, image, open, projects, dual eagles, assets, models, texture ground. So now, I found out there's like 2 different ways to view textures. Especially if you're doing like the cycles. If I'm doing cycles rendered, then you can't see it over here. I think you actually have to add default view. You actually got to go in and assign the texture. Open. Project. I hate to have to dig down every time. Texture ground. But do I think I gotta assign that texture to a material? Oh, but you can also go down here. Texture solid. Yeah, I think I gotta go to the material. Add a material. I don't think this is like Unity where you assign a texture to a material. I think you got a material, then you have textures. And I always get confused right here. And I don't understand why this cycles render is so slow. Because you're supposed to be able to go under system. Is it system? And then there's a way to set it to your graphics card. Add on. Put. Yeah, CUDA device. Save. Yeah, my G-force. Now, is that selected or not? It's hard to tell if it's down or not. So you would think it would be like super snappy and fast if it's using my graphics card to render this. Because my graphics card can render like 1920 by 1080 images at 60 frames a second, so why can't it render this out? Maybe it's got to do with the lighting, and most games don't have like complex ray casting and everything, so maybe if I turn all that down. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to go here, GPU compute. So that's a little bit faster, but it's still not super snappy. I think there's a way to turn it on so it renders in real time. Yeah, rendered. So here it's rendering in real time, which isn't too bad. Does it still have the lamp? Yeah, the lamp's still on. So I gotta go in here, image mapping. It's supposed to be like a UV map in here. Yeah, I would like to get into just using cycles now, since that takes advantage of my graphics card and the standard Blender renderer doesn't. So if I could start doing everything in cycles now. Oh, you got to go in and do this. I forgot about the custom properties. No. No, it's down here. Surface. Diffuse, I think. Color. Image. Open. Gotta dig through here again. Dual equals. Assets, models, texture ground. So there's my ground now. Need some more ambient light. It's under world settings. There we go, ambient inclusion. That looks pretty good right there. So yeah, we're going to have some clipping right there, but oh well. File, save. Go back down. Dual equals assets, models. Ground. Okay. Go back to Unity. Could go ahead and do my characters. File, new. Create cylinder GZ1. But now I gotta apply transformer, apply location. In 222 scale 0.5 1 scale Z 2, then object apply scale. So now we're all back down to 11110000, which is what we want. And I want a 112 size. Other thing I want to add, I want to go ahead and smooth out these faces. Shading, smooth. Let's go ahead and add a direction pointer. It'll just look like a big nose. So I'll make it a cube. That's what I usually make it. Scale. Nope. Scale. Well, scale 0.25. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to move this up. And which way is it facing forward? I always get confused. Because this is the front face. But the front face is facing backwards. Why? It's always easy to get confused. Okay, so there. I'll go ahead and join these guys together. So I think that's Shift J or Control J, Alt J. Okay, Shift J. Join. I could put like the I forget where the option is, but you can like list the commands that I'm entering, like tutorial mode or something. Yeah, I'm not gonna find history. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. File, save as. We're still in models. That's good. So go ahead and make this player. Save. He's not going to be textured yet. But it would be nice if I could like give him a red or a blue. Maybe I want to go ahead and texture this guy. I don't know. I don't know. It's always a pain unwrapping cylinders, I'll tell you. I think I'm just going to make it red or blue, and I'll take whatever texture. Yeah, I'll probably have two textures for this guy. One for the skin tone and default colors, and another for his specific color. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and get something running in Unity. So yeah, I don't need this plane. Let's delete this plane. Did all that get imported? Oh, I need to add my editor scripts. That's like the first thing I always need to do. Main camera. Actually, just open up my tools. LD Smith. I think it's in is it in tool? No, it's just in tools. And Unity editor. So I'm just going to drag this directly into here. I might have my shading. No, that just says auto save. So I definitely want auto save. So now whenever I press play, it's going to automatically save the scene. Or if the scene doesn't exist yet, if it hasn't been saved, then it's going to prompt me on where to save it. So scenes. And that code I think is in my Unity toolkit in my bit bucket. So what do I want to call it? I'll just call this game.scene, I guess. I'll do it lowercase. I always call the main gameplay game. So yeah, we don't see anything yet. Let's go into models and drag out our ground model. So there we go. So Z is pointing that way. Where's our camera at? Yeah, our camera's actually kind of in the right position. So 0, 0, 0. Where's our camera? Why can't I click on the camera? So you can kind of see the camera. Not that great. I'm going to pull it up, out. Wow, I've been in Godot too long. I'm used to all the handles and everything being there by default. So yeah, it's kind of going to look like this. You can see the preview right here. But I need to go ahead and add. The trick is going to be getting the camera to go with the two guys at the same time. So I guess I'm going to look at the guy furthest behind and move the camera with it. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I could have the camera zoom in and out. Nah, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Need some like walls too, or mountains on the side. I can add that later. So yeah, let's go back. Man, I need to fix this. I can't deal with the default layout of these. Always put my hierarchy here, then project here. I can pull this down. So, under assets, I'm going to create a new folder. This is going to be prefab. Is it prefab or prefabs? I'll just call it prefab. I'm gonna drag. I'm gonna create a empty game object called ground. I'm gonna drag the ground model. So need this to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Wish it would just make it 0 by default. Good grief. Drag the ground into my prefab. Go ahead and create a level manager. Level manager. Let's go ahead and create a scripts folder. Let's create a level manager script. Go ahead and open that up. See, this is the nice thing about Godot, is like it's already there in the editor when you create it. It's not like, oh, we got to open Visual Studio and we got to sign in for Visual Studio and all this nonsense. It's like, why am I not signed in with Visual Studio? That's going to prompt me for a password, and then I'm going to have to go out and dig out a password. It's like, what a headache. It's like I haven't updated Visual Studio. Why is it asking me to log in? This is crazy. I gotta go find my weirdo live login, whatever it is. Got like 10 of these accounts. Yeah, this one. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. Okay, I think I'm logged into Visual Studio now. It's like so much wasted time. Oh great, it's showing my password, my email there. Which isn't super secret or anything, but the less spam I get, the better. Did I get a new version of Visual Studio? Is this like 2017 or something? Maybe I did update this. Yeah, this is Community 2017. Or maybe it updated to 2017 when I upgraded Unity. That's probably what it is. Because I don't think I've used Unity since I've updated. I don't know if this is any better. I mean, it's got a new logo. Woohoo. It's got attached to Unity. I don't know if that gives me the ability to break out of loops now or not. That would be nice. So let's do public game object. I noticed new things popping up there. No. Ground. Prefab. So on start, we're going to initialize. What? Instantiate. Ground. See, this is another thing I don't like about Unity. Like in Godot or even GameMaker, I can just pass in whatever object it is right here. Here I gotta drag that game object into this instance variable. It's so annoying. Vector 3, 0, quaternion identity. Transform parent. Doesn't this work? Does this not work anymore? This used to work. And just the stupid stuff like dragging the script onto the object. It's like, just have one. Like every other development environment, why can't we just have one script per game object? Who's beeping? Then we gotta drag the ground prefab into the slot. No, it should work. Okay, so there's our ground. Maybe we want to make 2 of them. new vector 3 0 0 10. Okay, so now I can see the whole ground there. So let's get another model. I want to create a new capsule. There's going to be player. But I want the capsule to be I need the bottom of the capsule. I don't need to go through the ground like what it does by default. So player, I'm going to, so it's 2 by 5, 5 radius, height 2, so the Y needs to be 1. Then, not going to worry about the mesh renderer. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Remove that. Remove that. So really I only did it for the cat. So I could have created an empty game object and created my own capsule collider, but that's just the way I've always done it. But it's important to do this up front, otherwise you run into problems later. Like your guy spawning in the middle of the ground. It's never pretty. So I'm going to take my player, drag him on here, so it looks like he's snugly fit on top. Oh no. This is a little bit off. Whoa, no. Why is this off? Why is that off? Oh, I don't have my... This is easily fixable. See, the anchor point's like right in the middle of that cube. So I just need to do another apply location. Go ahead and do an apply rotation and scale as well. Just in case. I don't think that's needed, but... So, I'm surprised it didn't pop into place. Maybe it needs to re-import. Be interesting to see if it pops into place. Yeah, there it goes. So it popped into place right there. So yeah, that guy's really big. Maybe I should, yeah. I kind of like keeping the person 2 units tall. That's kind of like 2 meters tall. I probably could have made the ground area a little bit bigger, but oh well. The width is actually not too bad. I think that's pretty good right there. So I'm going to go ahead and prefab the player. I'm going to delete the ground. Go ahead and delete the player. So my level manager, go ahead and add to the level manager script. I don't know why it has to reload every time. Good grief. I just created this. Why is it asking about stupid line feeds? Game object player prefab. So I want to instantiate the player prefab at new vector 3. Let's say 2 0 0. Quaternion. I don't even know if I need to do that. So I want to do a. I should be. Put this in a function. Private make or setup game. Go ahead and grab all these. So this way, if both characters die, then I'll have an easy way to set up the game. Set up game. Why is this complaining? Private void. So I'm going to instantiate 2 players, but I need references to those players. So this is going to be -2. This is going to be 2. So I need the one that's stored in a player or a game object. I guess if I get the game object, then I can always get the player script, which I haven't created yet. Game object obj red player gets game object instantiate game object blue player gets that. Let's see what this looks like. If I can get these guys moving around in under an hour, I'd be really happy. So it didn't. Oh, I didn't put the player. I knew I was forgetting something. Got to put the player prefab there. Okay, there's my two players. Need to pull the camera up a lot more. That's the bad thing about you can't dynamically pull the, well, there's my scene. Select the camera. That looks a little, I can worry about the empty areas later. Rotate this down. Yeah, give me a little bit more view. My nose is really itching. Okay. So the thing you got to remember to do is come over here and click this and copy component. Then go back and then paste values. Otherwise you'll lose your rotations. I like it. It looks like it has the front clipping plane now as well. That's kind of interesting. Near. Yeah. Push that out. Let's make it 1. Just in case something gets super close to the camera, then we don't have to worry about it covering everything up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Still a little bit close, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so here's where the trick's going to happen. Here's where the magic's going to happen. So I got player, scripts, create C# script. This will be player. This will be very interesting. I don't know how, I still don't even know how I'm going to do this yet. I'm going to have to think about this in a minute. Hopefully it isn't too difficult. I'm used to using Playmaker for this because it can handle all the inputs directly. Update player. Time, delta time. Pub private void update player. Do I even need to pass time delta time? I think I can access time delta time from outside of update. I still don't know the best method for moving a character with a controller. Should I use add force or translate? I've always used translate. Like game, I don't even know if I need to specify game object. Transform, translate. So I'm gonna do new vector 3. Zero, 0, 5. I need a speed value. F speed. float f speed gets 5f times time dot delta time. So I learned something there. I can looks like I can access delta time outside of update. Seems like I used to always like try to pass that as a parameter, which now looking back seems a little bit dumb. But so there's my player script. It's just going to move the character forward. But first, this is the easiest way, is just to grab this guy, pull him out. I could have edited him right here. Prefab. Why can't I drag a prefab into my game, into my scene? Oh, I'm trying to drag the folder. Duh. Player. Scripts. Drag the player script on the player object. Then hit apply. And you can delete your game object now. So now it's going to instantiate 2 player objects, and they should both walk straight forward, which is what I expected. So now I need to get it to respond to the stick. So input, is it get access? Or get access? I think get access raw returns a 0 or a 1, or like a -1, 0, 1. Get access returns the float. Vertical. Does that return an int? Vector 3 vect move gets new vector 3, so 0 y 0 z vertical times time dot delta time. So now the guy should move. Wait, I gotta game object transform translate by vect move. So now both players should respond to me pressing up and down on the gamepad. I guess I could have one. Hey, there we go. He needs to be a little bit faster though. He needs to be like, I don't even know if 10. 10 still may be too slow. That kind of feels like a Kari Warrior speed right there. It really does. Is that slow? That's still way too slow. I don't know why this has to be so much. I'll know when it feels right. I could manual it. Yeah, no, that variable isn't exposed. Maybe I should put this in the inspector. I always hate doing that though. I always hate it because when you modify it here, then you can't modify it in the code anymore. I'd rather just have it in the code in one place and not have 2 different places where that variable is defined. So if you put it up here as a public float, then you can edit it in the inspector. But anything you put here, if you assign it here, or maybe even in start, your inspector is going to override what's in your start or up here. And then you're going to wonder why changing what's in start or up here in your declaration, why that doesn't change it, because it's in the inspector. And it's just a mess. Why? I don't understand why I have to have the speed so high. Seems like 5 is pretty fast. 5 times time delta time. Why is that so slow? Am I even multiplying? I bet I'm not multiplying that. Oh, I'm not multiplying. Okay, that makes sense. My bad. Times F speed. No wonder it's so slow. I knew something felt wrong. It's like 5 times time delta time is actually a pretty good guide to go by for speed. Okay, now that's snappy. So I'm going to do the same thing for horizontal. But I'm going to have to change this in a second. I think I'm going to change it to horizontal red and horizontal blue. That way we keep the naming conventions the same between the player color, and then you can let the player map whatever you want player red and player blue to be. So you can see them moving the joystick, moving both guys around. Or I can use keyboard or ASDF. So I'm going to go into, this is how I've pictured this. Go into input. Play around with these a little bit. There's my axes over here. And it creates a lot of extra ones you don't need. So I'm going to have to go in here and fix some of this. So this is going to be horizontal. What do I want on the left? I want red to be on the right. Just because that's the way I think in political terms. If I make red left, that will bug me the whole entire time while I'm developing this. So horizontal red and vertical red. So the weird thing about this is you have to define these twice, once for like keyboard controls and one for joystick controls. Really don't want to deal with snap and I don't want to deal with keyboard right now. I just want to do joystick. Type joystick, type keyboard or mouse button. So I don't want to worry about these. Let me worry about these down here. Horizontal red, vertical red. Now can I duplicate this? Duplicate. So this is going to be horizontal blue. And vertical blue. So this is going to be... Oh, I forgot how to do this. Is it third axis? Fourth axis? Do third axis. Vertical blue. Let's do fourth axis. See if this works. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't think anything's changed yet. As long as nothing blows up, I think we're good. Oh no. Stuff is already blowing up. Okay, so I don't have horizontal axis anymore. So, horizontal red. Vertical red. It'd be nice if I could go ahead and set the color. Now the question is how am I going to reference these guys? I think I'm just going to have an int value. Public const team red. I don't know. Like when I was doing my MOBA style game, I'd have like a team, but it's just like a one-person team. I don't know. Team red 0. Public const int team blue 1. I could do like an enum right there, but oh well. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna keep this private. Int I team. I don't know. It's the best way I can describe each player. I don't want to call the variable color. Team just makes things make more sense to me. It's like a red team and a blue team, even though it's like a one-person team. So I'm going to do it this way. So player. Actually, I think I'm going to make that public. So when I instantiate this guy, I can just access it directly. So red player. Player red gets GOBJ red player dot get component player red dot I team gets player dot, can I do that? Team red. I'm going to copy these. Player blue GOBJ blue player get component player blue I team gets team blue. I would like to go ahead and color these guys, but oh well. Could create materials for them. Is that how I want to do it? Have two? Yeah, I think I want to have two separate materials. So okay, I'm still moving both guys with one controller. Yeah, let's go ahead and create materials. Do I want to put it in model? I'm going to put it in materials right here. Create material. Matte player red. Create material matte player blue. So this is just going to set this albedo color. Blue always looks really funky. Even when I like set it all blue and no red. I don't know. I guess that looks okay. Sometimes the blue doesn't look quite blue, especially when you raise. Maybe I'm thinking about raising the. So if you lower or if you raise RNG, then it doesn't look like real blue. But I guess if you, it looks like this lightish. It doesn't look like real blue for some reason. I guess if you modify saturation. Oh well. Let's leave it like that. Okay, so now we got our matte player red, matte player blue. Let's go back over here. I really want to get the color set. It's really bugging me. Player. Let me think. I think I just want to set the material here. I don't know. Do I want to set the material every frame? I think I'm just going to set the material once. If I can. I wish there was a way to reference material outside of, like, specifying it here and dragging it in. Public material matte player red. Public material matte player blue. There's got to be a way to get a reference to material aside from dragging it as a parameter. I just don't know how to do it yet. So here's matte player blue, matte player red. So by default, the players have no material. So when I instantiate it, GOBJ red player dot find. So the player has a player model. So I want to find the player model. I don't think I have to do a /. So that's still a game object. So I need to get the renderer component on that, I think. Renderer dot get component dot material gets mat player red. If this works, I'll be impressed with myself. I need to do transform. Transform. Okay. If this works, I'll be impressed with myself. I really will. So I should have one player red and the other default. He's red. He's actually red. I don't believe it. The only problem with this game is getting the guys to turn. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. I could have that on the triggers. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I want to have it where both guys can get in like a Jeep and one can drive and one can shoot. I think that'd be pretty cool. I could have it where the triggers turn the guys, then it like snaps back forward. I've seen games do that before. But then I won't have a way to... yeah, that'd be very difficult. You'd have to almost put your... what is it? Your middle fingers on the trigger, then your... to shoot to do it that way. I think I'd rather just have it like this. Shoot with these. But it'd be really nice to have a way to turn. I just don't know how I want to do that yet. I think it's just going to be a forward-facing shooter. Okay, okay, let's go ahead and do the blue guy. This is actually going a lot more smoothly. Is that grammatically incorrect? It's going smoother than I expected. Blue player, fine player. So he's going to be map player blue. Save. If that 3 and 4 axis works, I'll be really happy, and I'll go to bed a lot sooner than I planned. Okay, so we got a blue guy and a red guy. I'll work on shooting later today or tomorrow sometime. So let's go back to player. Here's the moment of truth. Okay, here it is. This is going to be simple. If I team... should I do a switch? I think I'm just going to do an if. Team red. I think a if is more readable. Else if I team equals team blue. Which, ignore the name team. All references to team. That's just to get me to think the right way. Because I'm still like thinking of my MOBA game. But this is kind of like just a one-person team. I don't know any other way to signify. I could do like player 1 and player 2 or player side. I don't know. So if team blue get access horizontal blue, get access vertical blue. See if this works. I'll be shocked if this works. I know I've gotten this to work before. Seems like it wasn't too difficult. Oh no! Hey, there we go. Well, he doesn't move his what's going on with him? Oh, I got the axes backwards. So I'm pressing left and right to move him up and down, which isn't. I got the axes backwards, which that's easily fixable. But should the left and right work? I think, because it bugged me about, it said mouse wheel or something. So I think this needs to be 4 and 5, not 3 and 4. Y. So let's make 4, 5. And 3, 4. See what that does. Okay, now he's moving right. And they can bump into each other. Which, surprised to colliders. Do I have to add rigid bodies to keep them from colliding? But yeah, you can see I'm moving with the 2 thumbsticks. So look backwards, but yeah, moving each guy independently. I think that's so cool. Do I need to add rigid bodies to keep these guys from bumping into each other? It's got a capsule collider. Let's go ahead and add a rigid body. Why is this stuck on animation? Oh no. What? Let's go ahead and apply this. I bet he's going to fall through the ground. How much you want to bet they're going to fall through the ground? Yep. They fell through the ground. Yeah, I never even added any sort of collider to this. Physics. I was going to do like a tutorial or an explanation between the different colliders and rigid bodies and all that. Do I want to do a mesh collider? Can I do a mesh collider? Mesh plane. Because what collides with what and everything gets really confusing. I actually started a I've actually recorded a tutorial, I just haven't published it yet. I think you gotta have it on convex. Oh, that still doesn't work. Wow. Oh, I haven't applied. Oh no, I don't need to apply that. It's almost like I have to add the rigid body. Just doing mesh is bad. Is a bad idea to begin with. Oh, was that a mesh component? Wasn't a mesh collider. I'm gonna go ahead and do a box collider. Let's drag this guy out. So this is going to be 10, 1, 20. Oops. 21, 10. We're going to move it down by minus 0.5. That should make it. Yeah, that should set it right there on the top. So we're going to apply. Now the question is, do I need a rigid body? Because I'm using capsule collider. Yeah, since everything's like default Unity. Oh no, these guys are falling over. No. That's easily fixable. That's interesting. Is this using a mesh collider? Why is it popping up like that when it hits the little... It should just be a, Whoa, that's wild. Oh, I know why it's doing that, because the axes are... I'm translating in... Now, that's a good thing to see that. Because what that makes me realize is I need to be translating in space.world coordinates. To get attacked the way I want. Yeah, if I had it in local coordinates moving forward, that would be way too confusing. So it's a good thing I saw that. So now if they bump into each other, they're still going to fall over, but they're going to go the way that I expect them to go, like red going left, right, up, down, blue, right, left, up, down. This is really wild. Okay. So this is easily fixable. Let's go to player, rigid body, constraints. We're going to freeze rotation on X and Z. So now they won't fall over. I've done this so many times. Probably done this like at least 30 times before. I don't know about these guys overlapping like that. Wish there was a way to like keep them colliding before they collide, but that's okay. Yeah, the real trick is keeping the camera straight. Oh, they need to keep looking forward too. Do I need to constrain on Z too? I think I want to constrain on all three. So now they won't ever stop looking forward. The only question is if I have a tree. Yeah. If I have a tree. But he's going to be able to push anything with the collider. Unless it's like a box. Yeah, let's just throw in a box collider. And see. Create 3D cube. Let's put it at 5. Yeah, he won't be able to walk past anything with a collider. It's like anything with a collider without a rigid body is impassable. Impassable? Impassable? I think it's impassable. So that's good. So that'll be like a tree or a rock or something right there. This game is going to be so wild. I would like to have things that are like specific. Like have a bridge that only the red guy can cross, or things that only the blue guy can do. I don't know if they'll have specific abilities or not. But maybe have like a bridge or water. Like the blue guy can go in water, but the red guy can't. This would be my vision of a complete game. Not that I'm going to be able to do this in like 2 days, but have the blue guy be able to swim in the water. The red guy hates water. Then the blue guy can go hit a switch, lower the bridge so the red guy can cross. And then maybe the red guy likes fire, so the red guy can walk through fire or something. And like hit a switch to let the blue guy keep going. So we've got red and blue. Now I think I just want to get shooting working. Maybe not with enemies. We're up to 1 hour, so that's kind of like the amount of time that I wanted to spend on this. But if I can just get bullets working, I think I'll be happy for now. Create a sphere. All my bullets are always just plain spheres, which are kind of uninteresting, but they get the job done. Maybe I should do a bullet model, because the default sphere is going to be way too big. If I go ahead and do a bullet model in Blender, then I can fix it in Blender later. If I don't do a bullet model now, then it's going to be more of a pain having to come back into Blender and add it in. Create. I always get confused about UV sphere and icospheres. Let's do UV sphere. Let's turn down the number of segments. Let's say 16 and 8. That looks good. Then once you go into edit mode and you smooth it out, you can't even... It looks pretty darn good, and like when your camera is going to be so far away, nobody's even going to be able to tell. The only thing is I want this in proportion of my character. So right now it's 222, which is way too big, so... I think I want this to be, I'm going to scale 0.1. So that's going to be the size of the bullet right there. I could have it like, pull it out. I'll worry about that later. File, save as, bullet blend. Save. You haven't done any UV unwrapping or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna rename Cube Tree because Cube is really bothering me right here. It makes me think this is something that's came out of Blender. So that's gonna be a tree. This is gonna be a bullet. So there's the bullet. Way too big. Whoa, why is there two? Oh, that's the rotation handles. Okay, I don't need that. So I'm going to go into models. I'm going to drag a bullet model on my bullet game object. So you can see it's way too small. So I'm going to go into bullet. I'm going to delete the mesh renderer. And then I'm going to fix the radius size. So what is it, 0.1? Yeah, there we go. So now my collider fits snugly on the bullet. So I'm going to, I can't apply yet, so I'm going to drag my bullet into prefab. So here's the real trick here. I need a bullet script. Create, this isn't the trick right here. I'll go ahead and set this up. It's like instantiating these guys. So let me go ahead and open the bullet script in Visual Studio. Why does it keep asking me this? I'm so tired of this. So float F speed is going to be faster than the player, so I'm going to do 20 F. I will do this in local coordinates. Translate. I can't do that. Is this different? Seems like I was always able to call translate on the game object. Now it seems like I specifically got to call translate on the transform. So I'm going to do new vector 3, 0, 0, 1 times F speed times time delta time. In space dot world coordinates. No, I could do world coordinates. I'm gonna go ahead and do self. That way, if I do like weird homing shots or something, then it's gonna be. I just have to rotate it, and then it'll keep going straight. So it's unlike the player where I'm moving the player in world coordinates, but I could actually move the player in self coordinates as long as I'm guaranteeing that he's staying straight, because I don't want to rotate the player. Then that will be way too difficult. If the player starts rotating and then you press forward for one player, then he's going to go forward in his direction. I mean, you could do that. I think that'd be way too complex. So I'm going to leave that in world coordinates. This I can do either self or world. I'm just going to leave it as self, just as a way to make sure that I'm keeping it forward in the right direction. So I think whenever I instantiate this guy, I'm going to use the same position and rotation as the player. But oh yeah, that's one thing I need to do. Got the bullet with the sphere. That's okay. Let's go ahead and press play on this guy. He should shoot off. Oh no, he's so small. Apply. Oh, I didn't pull the script. It's like, that's so annoying. I do like the ability to have multiple scripts on an object, but I'd kind of like just to say, let me edit all the code on the bullet object. That looks right. One thing I want to do is prefab, grab the player. I want to define. This is a neat little trick you can do. Go ahead and create an empty game object and call this bullet spawn point. Because I've said this before, if you spawn the bullet inside the player collider, bad things will happen. It'll shoot off into infinity. So it's better just to, like you can see the player collider right there. Just put the bullet spawn point. You can like match this up with his arm or something. It makes things a lot easier. So I got bullet spawn point. Going to apply. So I think now if I press fire, both players will fire, which is okay to start out with, just to get this working. So player, why does it keep asking me this? If input dot get button down, was it fire one? Instantiate bullet prefab, which I haven't defined yet. Bullet prefab. And then I want to use transform.find bullet spawn point. So I'm going to get the spawn point of the bullet for this object. Then I'm going to use, I'll go ahead and use quaternion identity. But I could like grab the rotation of the player, I think. Put it there. So now what I need to do is I need to do a public game object bullet prefab. Go into here, get the player. My bullet's already prefab. I'm going to press apply again just in case. So here's my player. Where's the script? Oh, what? Instantiate. Oh. Dot transform dot position. Let's clear these out. Oh no. What does it not like? Oh, there it goes. So bullet prefab, I'm going to pull the bullet to the bullet prefab. Now this is where things are getting ugly. I'd like to color the bullet according to the player, but now I need to define more materials. So I'm going to have to start defining bullet materials in the player. I could pass in like the team ID, I guess. But then I got to do the sign. Yeah. Game object GOBJ bullet gets game object. It's a good idea to go ahead and do this anyway, but GOBJ bullet dot get component bullet. Did I have a bullet script? Yeah, I have a bullet script. Dot. This is where it gets confusing too. I've just instantiated it. Will start finish by the time I call the method to set the color. I'm going to call set team. So I'm going to call this team blue or team red. Let's go ahead and do team red. So bullet. See, this is where it's good to know like the order in which these things are called, or if they can be called in any order. That's another problem I've came across in a lot of games is like it works one way 99% of the time, but you have like a CPU spike and then something doesn't finish and something else starts, then your game's all hosed up because you didn't expect. You expected this finish to be, you expected like this set team call to be called after start has finished. I don't know if that's the case here, but I've seen things like that happen. Set team int I team. If I team equals player dot team red, then we're going to do something. Why is that giving me a bar? Else if I team equals player team blue, then we're going to do something. This is just for visual things now. But it would be kind of neat later on to have like specific red enemies and specific blue enemies. That would be pretty cool, actually. So I'm going to define two materials. Public material matte red. Public material matte blue. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to game object transform find, what is it, bullet dot get component renderer dot material gets matte red, else let's make it blue. Okay, see if this works. Oh, I got a spawn bullet. Oh yeah, I did fire one. Edit project input. Actually, I want to wire up the other keys for the red and blue too. But I'll do that later. I got the gamepad working. So it's like both arrows and ASDF control red. So oh, there we go. Oh, there's no materials. Why didn't it? Oh, I never did. I'm surprised I didn't return an error. I need to set the lifetime of the bullet too. It's one of those things I always forget. Like that's another thing Playmaker makes easy. Private float F lifetime countdown. F lifetime countdown gets, say, 5F. F lifetime countdown, subtract and assign time delta time. If F lifetime countdown is less than or equal to 0F, then destroy game object. But then we got to remember that it doesn't get destroyed until update has completed. Maybe on the next frame. So you always want to have that at the end. Or you just got to be aware of that. So all I did was set the lifetime. But now you can see after 5 seconds these should start cleaning themselves up. That's way too long. I kind of would, like in a lot of my games, I'll do like having the ability to upgrade the range of your fire. Let's make this 0.5. Half a second. Wow, that still shoots a long way. 2.2. Okay, that's a lot better. So maybe pick up an upgrade, let them shoot further. But this isn't the way I want to play it yet. I still don't have the ability to use my... Whoa, I'm getting confused now. Where's my... Oh, I think I lost red. I think red has fell through the world. Red may be gone. There's blue. Yeah, red has fell through the world. And he's at negative 1700 now. We lost red. I need to have like a kill plane if you fall too low. I would like to have bridges. I think that would be really cool. Okay, let me think. Edit, project, input. So fire one. Wait. I want this to be fire red. Wait. This is where I need to be. This is like all the joystick stuff down here. Fire red. Joystick button, what is this? I don't know what... I wish I had better, like, definitions for the gamepad buttons. Unity gamepad input definitions. There's like one web page that has like all the definitions for those constants. It'd be nice if they were drop downs. That way you wouldn't have to guess. It's just having to find that one page. Unity input constants. What's all this Oculus nonsense? What is all this trash? This is like unconventional game input. Oculus and all this nonsense. Mobile? What? It's all this HoloLens nonsense. Okay, here it is right here. 4 and 5. 4th axis, 5th axis. That's what I learned earlier. 8 and 9. Oh, maybe I can do like pressing the button for bombs or something. 3rd axis triggers? How does that work? I think I'd like that. Pressing the button down does a special action. But yeah, 4 and 5 is what I need. Fire red will be joystick button 4. Crap. Duplicate. Fire blue will be button 5. So let's go back. Look at the player. Fire red. Else if fire blue. But now I need to get the red player or the blue player. That's going to be the... It's going to be the annoying part. Oh, no, that's not going to be hard. If button down is red and I team equals team red. if you're on the red team and you press the red fire button, then fire. Or else, if you're press the blue fire button and you're on the blue team, then fire. So I think I'm going to have quite a bit of this done in an hour and a half. The only thing I don't have working is enemies and power-ups. Okay, there we go. Blue shooting, red shooting. It gets really weird when you cross your guys. Oh no, I fell off. See, this works fine right here. The problem is when you cross your guys up, it feels really weird. This feels fine right here. I'm thinking maybe I should have it limited so the red guy can only be on the left side and the blue guy can only be on this side. When you cross them, it feels really strange. Wish I could just hold down fire and not have to press it over and over again. That's going to get old, pressing those over and over again. Let me do... I can fix that really quick. Float, F, bullet, cool down. F, bullet, cooldown gets 0F. If F, bullet, cooldown is greater than 0, F, bullet, cooldown, subtract and assign, time, dot delta time. If F, bullet, cooldown is less than 0. I'm gonna go ahead. The only reason I'm going to do this less than or equal to is like I can use this right here as a signal to like show, hey, your cooldown's up. F, bullet, cooldown gets 0F. But I could put other things here to activate what happens whenever the cooldown expires. Maybe it's some graphical thing, or I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to change these. It's going to yell, it's going to scream and turn red. So this is going to be if input get button. I think that's what it is. So now it's going to instantiate 1,000,000 of them. I think it's just get button. Oh, wait a second. I'm going to have 2 different cooldowns. One for red and one for blue. This is where things get weird. No, I don't. Wait. So each player is going to have their own cooldown. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. If F bullet cooldown less than or equal to 0F, and so each player is going to have their own cooldown regardless of what bullet's being shot. I kind of feel like, I don't know. And so now we're going to set F bullet cooldown. Now where did I define? No, that was in can you shoot more than one bullet at once? Yeah, I think it's good to keep the bullet lifetime and the bullet cooldown, the shooting cooldown separately. I don't want to have to wait to 1 bullet die. Yeah, this is a better way to do it. I'm up late. Well, I actually slept really late last night too. Yeah. Thanks for stopping in, Gwald. I'm about to wrap this up. I'm an hour and a half into this, but I'm kind of happy with what I've got working so far. I'll show it off here in a second. So bullet cooldown needs to be, let's say, 0.1 F. So that'll get subtracted off. 1/10 of a second. Let's save this. Yeah, this is my mini Ludum Dare 70 something game, which I'm going to develop in like a day and a half. Okay, now we got it going. Look at that. So I got my 2 guys. Let me maximize this. So I got my 2 guys. They're controlled by the 2 different, like this is red. This is blue. This is red shooting. This is blue shooting. So you can actually play the whole game just using the 2 thumbsticks and the buttons on top. But I was going to have it where... Whoa! That wasn't good. Yeah, my red guy just went flying. I must have shot the red guy, or the red guy shot the blue guy from behind. Yeah, unfortunately the bullet collides with the players as well. I don't know what happened there. Somehow that one guy went fly. Whoa, that happened again. It's like the players colliding with the other player and then shooting at the same time. So I think what's happening is the bullet's getting instantiated inside the other player. And he's falling off the edge of the world. That's why you don't see him anymore. Yeah, he fell off the edge of the world. So, yes, I plan on having enemies. The next trick will be getting the camera to follow both of these guys to keep them both. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. I guess I could take... I could set the camera to be a certain distance behind the guy with the least y coordinate, the lesser z coordinate. I like the fire rate. That's doing pretty well. So yeah, tomorrow or later today I'll work on adding the models and the graphics and everything. Adding sound effects. I'm going to save the camera for later. I don't feel like doing the camera right now. But I am kind of happy with what I've gotten done. Unfortunately, right now, this only works with gamepad controls. Because both the arrows... I could fix that really quickly. Like a lot of these configurations are in this project settings input. So, left, right, up, down. I want this to be horizontal blue and vertical blue. And I want to get rid of the alternate buttons, S and W, and A and D. So now I'm going to duplicate horizontal blue. And instead of left and right, I'm going to have... Wait. This is going to be horizontal red. I'm going to keep these in the same order. Do I have red first? Vertical blue, vertical red. Fire red, fire blue. So let's always keep red first. So horizontal red is going to be negative. Why is that negative? Oh, okay, got it. A, D. Horizontal blue is going to be left and right. Vertical, I'm going to duplicate. So vertical red is going to be S for down, W for up. Did I do the other one right? Negative is A. D, yeah, so left is going to be A and right is going to be D. So yeah, you can actually play this on the keyboard, I think. There we go. Look at that. You can't see my hands on the keyboard, but this is down. This is down arrow, up arrow, left arrow, right arrow. This is up, W, S, A, D. So I can control both guys. But, Wald, I don't know if you were on earlier, but whenever you swap the guys, when they get crisscrossed, the controls gets really confusing. Because you kind of naturally expect your right hand to control the right guy and your left hand to control the left guy. And now they're backwards. So it's better not to ever cross your guys. Because I was thinking maybe keeping the guys separated by a wall or something. I don't know. It's like once they cross, the controls feel really weird. But yeah, this is keyboard controls right here. So I could have, I don't know, I could have like the two different fire buttons. So fire one, I don't know what I want to use. So I can have one, I can have the thumb on control maybe, and the thumb on space. So fire red, positive space. Then I want to duplicate. This will be fire blue. And this will be right CTRL. See if that works. So yeah, this is taking like both hands to play. Okay, here's space, here's control. Whoa. What did I just do? It didn't like control space or something. Whoa. It doesn't like that. Something. That's like some hotkey or something. Why does it say you must exit? Whoa, this is very demanding. Is this dexterity or something? I don't know why it doesn't like. It doesn't like me pressing control for some reason. Wow. This really tests your mental capacity. Why does it keep saying that? This is like playing the piano. Why doesn't it like that? Okay, so it's control down is what it doesn't like, or control S. So maybe control isn't the best key to be using for this. Maybe control's a bad key. I don't know what other key to use. Controls. This is like playing the piano or the guitar. Yeah, control's a bad key. What should I use? Shift? I can't... My thumb can't touch shift. Alt? That's way too far over there. It just doesn't like it when I press S while I have control held down. At least there's a way to disable hotkeys when you're playing the game. Yeah, I don't know how to disable hotkeys. Aside from completely building the whole game. Because my fingers can't touch. I gotta use my thumb to shoot on both hands. My thumb can't reach shift. The only button my thumb can reach is the right control. Which works fine until I press S. I could just release it. Okay, let me fix the texture, then I'll be done. Okay. So in my bullet script, I got matte red and matte blue. Do I just need to drag the materials in? Is that all I need to do? That'll be easy. Matte red, matte blue. Oh, they're both red. Go ahead. Well, the good thing is I can test with my gamepad. That way I don't have to worry about. Whoa, 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 whoa. I crossed the streams. I almost think I'm going to have to put a wall between the two guys. Because once you cross them, it's so hard to control. My mind wasn't set up to operate. This feels good right here. I was like, oh, I control my left guy and my red guy, and I'm shooting. It's like once you cross them, wow, it really warps your mind. The mind wasn't made to work this way. Oh, I know why, because I never did change this down here. Team Blue. Wow, this actually looks pretty good for an hour, less than 2 hours, like 12 minutes shy. Okay, so now the blue guy is shooting blue, the red guy is shooting red. Which, as I was talking about on the stream earlier, it'd be kind of neat if I could make some enemies that are only defeatable, is that a word? Destructible by the blue guy and the blue bullets. And some guys that are only defeated by the red guy. But yeah, this could be like the bonus mode or something once you cross the guys. And if I split the guys apart, then I won't have this problem of shooting the guy in the back of the head, which as we saw earlier, sometimes sends one of the guys flying. We got this collision. We got friendly fire going on here. Do I want to do an enemy? I'm not doing an enemy in 10 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits because, yeah, it's almost 9 a.m. Been doing too much stuff lately. Yeah, I did, I can't even remember what I did. I slept a lot yesterday. Like, slept all day yesterday. Then tonight I played some Tekken 7. Then I watched some anime. Then I played some more fighting games on PlayStation Now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits. Probably work on this a little bit more, maybe. later today or tomorrow, then turn it in for the jam by Monday evening. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everyone who else may be watching the stream later, watching this video archived on YouTube. Everybody can find my YouTube channel at levidsmith.com. So appreciate everyone watching. Later.